Have you ever faced a moment so terrifying that you didn't know where to turn? This is Emma's story. A journey from fear into light, where courage and hope led her to peace. Emma sat alone on the last train of the night, exhausted after a long day at work. She stared out of the window at the dimly lit streets. The train was almost empty, except for a few quiet passengers sitting far away. Suddenly, the train turned onto an unfamiliar track. Emma frowned. This isn't right, she thought. She checked her phone, but there was no signal. The lights flickered, and a chill filled the air. Emma pulled her jacket closer, feeling uneasy. The train kept moving, but the familiar city lights had disappeared. All Emma could see were dark, dense trees outside the window. Her heart started racing. She stood up and walked toward the map on the wall. It was blank, no stops, no names, just empty lines. Suddenly, the intercom crackled. Next stop, unknown. Emma froze. The train slowed as it approached a dark tunnel covered in vines. She clutched her phone tightly, whispering, "What's happening?" The train entered the tunnel, and everything went pitch black. Emma's phone screen glowed dimly in her trembling hand. The lights flickered briefly, and Emma thought she saw a shadowy figure at the far end of the car. Her heart raced as the lights went out again. Emma knew she had to escape. She rushed to the train door, but it wouldn't open. The intercom crackled. "You cannot leave." She spotted a glowing red emergency lever near the back of the car. Sprinting toward it, she pulled it with all her strength. The train screeched to a halt, and the doors hissed open. Emma stepped out into a dense, foggy forest. Emma stood still, her breath visible in the cold night air. She turned on her phone flashlight, but the beam barely cut through the thick fog. As she stepped forward, a whisper echoed around her. "You shouldn't have left." Emma froze, whipping her flashlight around, but the forest remained empty. Emma's flashlight landed on a tree, but out of the corner of her eye, she saw movement. A shadowy figure stood between the trees, just out of reach of the light. Panic took over. Emma turned and ran as fast as she could, her flashlight shaking wildly. The shadowy figure followed, and the sound of its footsteps grew louder. Branches scratched her arms, and the fog thickened, but Emma kept running. She caught a glimpse of a flickering light far ahead, a faint beacon of hope. Emma stumbled into an open clearing. The fog thinned, and the moonlight lit up the area. For a moment, she thought she was safe. But then, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned quickly, and the shadowy figure stood at the edge of the clearing. Emma's phone buzzed in her hand. The screen flickered with distorted images, and a strange message appeared. "Don't look away." The shadowy figure stepped closer, and the air grew heavy. Suddenly, more figures emerged from the fog, surrounding her. Emma screamed, clutching her phone tightly. Emma saw the flickering light ahead, growing brighter. She ran toward it, her breath quick and shallow. As she reached the light, it flared brightly, illuminating the forest. The shadowy figures froze, and then faded into the mist. The humming noise stopped, and everything became quiet. The light pulsed, and the fog lifted. Sunlight streamed through the trees, and the forest transformed into a peaceful place. Emma stood in awe, feeling the fear melt away. A glowing path appeared before Emma, leading her out of the forest. She followed it, each step feeling lighter. the path opened into a beautiful meadow filled with golden sunlight and colorful flowers. Emma stopped by a sparkling river and knelt down, touching the cool water. The glowing light floated above her one last time before fading into the bright sky. Emma smiled, feeling free and calm. The fear and darkness were gone. This was her new beginning. As Emma stood in the glowing meadow, she looked back at the journey she had just survived. The dark forest, the shadowy figures, the fear, they were all behind her now. This journey wasn't just about escaping, it was about courage. Emma didn't give up, even when she felt lost and scared. She kept moving forward, trusting that there was something better waiting ahead. And she was right. Sometimes, life can feel like Emma's dark forest. Fear and uncertainty surround us, and we don't know where to go. But remember, there's always a light, even in the darkest moments. All we need to do is take one step at a time, just like Emma did. Thank you for watching Emma's story. Did it remind you of a time when you felt lost or afraid? How did you find your light in the darkness? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales. And share this story with someone who might need a little hope today. Together, let's spread the light.